All right, the first of new haunts, brand new haunts for 2016. This one's called the Sickhouse. It's out in Mokena, Illinois. But from what we understand, although it is a new haunt, it is from the originators of the Abyss, one of our former favorite haunts.
Yes.
That was in Shanahan, Illinois for a number of years. But it's now reincarnated as the Sickhouse. Different theme, some similar sets and props. What did you think, Laura, for the very first time we ever visited?
Very first time, I didn't know what to expect. I always was a big fan of the Abyss, but when I went into this, I really enjoyed it. There were a lot of things, and when something can creep me out, that means a lot. And there's actually two rooms, one especially where there were these two girls with the movie on the wall, and kind of the Ring kind of feel, but they were creepy. I mean, I actually kind of got like the chills being in that room. That's good, and that's a good sign for a haunt for me. And there was another one where a girl was on a crib and she just kind of was, staring, and that was a little creepy too. The actors were all really good in it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good for a first year haunt, and I'm going to give it 4 chainsaws. Looking forward to what they do in the future. Definitely would go back.
Okay, the Sickhouse, as Laura said, we didn't really know what to expect from the Sickhouse because sometimes when new haunts pop up, you never quite know what they're going to do. And I've seen a lot of advertising for the Sickhouse. They have a lot of slick videos, slick marketing and things, and that's always sort of a red flag for myself because I think about, well, if they're hyping its first year, you don't know what it's going to be. However, I have to say I was pleasantly surprised with the Sickhouse. Nice variety, good set design in there. There were different themes, different rooms. There's sort of a native theme. There's a room with a flaming cauldron and a native who wants you to worship the local god or goddess. There are some creepy rooms with children. There were some nuclear waste type of things. There's a room with a mental patient watching a TV with fuzz and static on it. There were things, crypt-like settings. There was a scene with a casket, a nice trick scene with a casket, moving body in a casket that has a little trick to it. Various other different scenes kept the variety going, and again, decent set design, pretty decent set design. As Laura mentioned, one room with 2 girls, they were wearing sort of blank doll face masks with expressionless masks. One girl was in a chair, the other girl was on the other side, and they were sort of crawling and bending and changing their posture, never said a word, just sort of slowly moved towards us. Creepy. Very effectively creepy. And also the girl on the crib, she was also quite creepy too. She was very quiet, stared at us the entire time, sort of looked as though she was moving towards us. And to add to that, there was a third room that Laura missed. Laura walked right past because the actor in the room was so well done, so still, that Laura thought it was fake. Laura thought the actor was fake.
That's true. I didn't know it was a person.
It was a room with various mannequins covered in sort of lace. It was darkly lit, covered in sort of lace and sheets. And there was one in the center of these. Laura had walked past already, and as I walked by, it sort of just moved a little bit, very little. And I almost thought it was a trick of the light, so I stopped for a second. And the actor was very clever because the actor stopped moving. So I stared at it, what I thought was an actor, but I wasn't sure for quite a while. I called Laura back in the room, and I'm like, look, you missed this. And then I thought to myself, well, maybe she didn't miss it. Maybe it really wasn't real. I said, it moved. I swear it moved. And after a while, the actor then finally turned towards us. And so I was like, it was great. It was great. And it wasn't one of these jump out and boo. It wasn't like that at all. It was that effectively creepy sort of slow movement with no sound, and almost made you feel like you doubted what you were seeing even though you were seeing it. Very effectively done. Overall, I would have to say very good for first year, but again, if this really is the leftovers from the Abyss or follow-up from the Abyss, it's technically not a first year, just a different location in a certain way, but we'll effectively say it's a first year haunt. The only thing I will say, it's $20 for general admission, and it's only about 12 minutes long, so a little bit maybe on the pricey side. Maybe not. Knock off a few dollars for general admission, maybe, and I'd probably give it an extra half a chainsaw. But for now, 3.5 for me. All right, our annual visit to Niles Haunted House, Niles Scream Park. Start again. Our annual visit.
Take 3.
All right.